All right, chapter 14 of Deuteronomy. Uh, this one is going to be a pretty short one. Basically, Israelites, of course, are the children of the Lord Jehovah. That's an important point that they're going to talk about. And then the unclean beasts and fish and fowls that are not to be eaten. So there's a bit of a list inside here as well. And the Israelites are to tithe all their increase of their seed annually, with a couple of exceptions that are in there to help people with their situation. And again, I love the fact that God has adapted his plan to help people in their situation to live the gospel. It's so great. We're going to get an example of that today. Okay, verse 1, ye are the children of the Lord your God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. So just this is talking about some traditions that people would have back then. So more of like, you got to keep your body clean and taken care of. Don't follow some of the other ancient traditions of other people, basically. Verse 3, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, the goat, the hart, the roebuck, the fallow deer, the wild. So there, he's going to go through every beast that parteth the hoof and cleaveth the cleft into two claws, cheweth the cud, that ye shall eat. So he gave a quick list of a bunch of animals that you can eat. And then he's going to go in here in verse 7, these the ones ye shall not eat. Okay, nor of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel, the hare, the coney, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof, therefore they are unclean. The swine you shall eat, these shall you eat that are in the waters, that have fins and scales. Whatsoever hath not fins and scales, ye may not eat. So no shellfish. Couldn't eat it back then. Of all the clean birds you can eat, but they are they which ye shall not eat: the eagle, the ossifrage, osprey, gled, kite, vulture, every raven, the owls, the nighthawks, little owls, pelicans, cormorants, storks, herons, bat, every creeping thing that flieth is unclean unto you, they shall not be. So no flying bugs. But of all clean fowls ye may eat. Ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself. Thou shalt not give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates. So again, if the animal dies on its own, could be disease, or it's injured, which means there could be infections and things. So you don't eat those. Stay away from that. Basically, if you didn't kill it, don't eat it, or know who killed it. Don't eat it. All right, verse 22, thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed that the field bringeth forth year by year. So the tithing is instituted again, or talked about again. This importance of tithing, the tenth of your goods, basically. Verse 23, thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of thy corn, the wine, thine oil, the firstlings of thy herds, thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. So again, there's very tight prescriptions as to how to handle these things. There's nothing left to guesswork. Verse 24, and if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. So here's the thing. You should give your tithes, which is donating to the temple. You bring it up to the temple and the place, the tabernacle, basically. And this is where you give it. Because remember, this is supporting the poor and the priests. Okay. But the Lord says, but what if you live too far away? What if you can't carry what you're supposed to donate, or it's too far away for you to travel to easily bring that in and get that taken care of? So this could be a particular circumstance. And the beautiful thing is the gospel is adaptable to the circumstance. So he says here, verse 25, then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand, and shall go into the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. Then thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, for sheep, for wine, for strong drink, for whatsoever thy soul desireth, and thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household. So what he's saying is basically, if what you have is too great for you to get to the temple, too big, too large, too far to go, whatever, if it's going to be a big burden for you to get it there, sell it. You take the money and you carry the money in to the area. Then you buy something else. Now on here, and we've heard this phrase in a couple of recent chapters where it says, for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. It sounds kind of bad. in today's world of lusting after things, what it means is you buy what your heart desires. You buy what you want to buy with that money, but realize that whatever you buy for that money is your tithing, your donation. So you're going to go through the ritual process just as if you had brought something with you to donate. But instead of bringing something with you, you brought money with you after selling the donation, and then use that money to convert back into something you can donate. So that was the plan. So that made it easier for people to make sure they could still follow the commandments without having an undue burden on them. Love how the gospel is adaptable that way. Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's see. That goes into verse 27. And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him, for he hath no part nor inheritance with thee. Again, the Levites are also there for your support. Verse 28, at the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates. And the Levite, because he hath no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest. So the tithing isn't so much always given, basically, it's within. They call it here within thy gates. So it could be within your land. You just leave a section out over here, and that's where people can come by and eat it. People who are widows, people who are orphans, strangers, the priests can just come eat of that stuff right there, or you take it all to a common place, and that's where you leave your donation, and then people can come get those donations from there. So that's what this is talking about, basically, in talking about tithing. So really cool, really, really good ideas. So let's jump to the next chapter in the next video and learn more.